to get them so excited and have raving fans. And maybe some clients come in and maybe they're a little disappointed and they're asking for refunds. Well, that's what today is all about, is to how you can onboard and deliver your course in a way, or your coaching program in a way that creates loyal, raving fans. So hang on in as we do our countdown party, as always, with the Sparkle song, and we'll be back in 3 minutes.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hello, welcome to Strategy with Sally. It's our weekly live. We're here same time every single week live, and I have for I don't know how many years. Let me know if you're joining us on the live stream. If you're happening to catch the replay, then comment replay below so that we know. Today I wanted to chat with you all about delivery and onboarding. So the reason why I wanted to bring up delivery and onboarding today, as if you heard last week, we have just hired a company to help us with our sales calls, to find a closer for us, and to also manage, because I don't want to look at them anymore, our Facebook ads. So if you didn't hear about that episode and why I've decided to stop selling, then go back and listen to last week's episode. But today is all about delivery and onboarding because of the experience that we've been having with delivery and onboarding ourselves with hiring a new company. Now, of course, you as a coach, course creator, educator out there, when somebody joins your program, you need to consider the onboarding experience. Now, as we're developing our programs, we're thinking a lot about how do we get the leads? What's the experience between, capturing a lead and getting them into a funnel and, looking at all the sexy numbers through the funnel and how it's all converting. And we're so focused on getting those sales that when it gets to they say yes, we're like, woohoo, we have some money. Then what? Okay, maybe we've got a course to put them into, but is that all? There has to be a lot of other considerations that you take into account because you could lose customers in the first couple of weeks if you do not provide a really great onboarding experience. Now, the reason I say this is because we had nothing much happen in the first week of joining this new program. Literally, they have been drip feeding us information. Now, I kind of get the reason behind drip feeding us a little bit of information for those people that get overwhelmed when there is too much content to dive into when you join a program. But what we found through our program, because as you know, we have a lot of stuff inside our program. If I take you over to our infographic, you will see, where is my little infographic button? I think it's this one. So you'll see we literally help you with your entire business through setting your vision to designing your offer and your method, creating your infographic, through to building out your tech and your, whether it be a live event or a webinar funnel or a lead magnet funnel or an evergreen funnel. And then we help you with messaging and marketing and all the stuff on how to talk to people across whichever platforms or wherever you go and find traffic, right through to how to now sell, how to do sales calls, how to measure all the spreadsheets that we've got. Then also the onboarding, which is what we're talking about today. And also how do you teach it live? So all the technology associated with building out a course, how to get any of your evergreen content into a course. Then all the things we do to optimize and evergreen your program so that you're only spending your valuable time doing the stuff that you love and eventually hiring out the things that you don't want to do. Now, as you can see, if you jumped into a program and you saw all of this, you'd be like, oh my God, it's overwhelming. It's too overwhelming. And you just might give up. And this has happened in the past. We've had clients come in and there is just too much stuff and they just get so overwhelmed. So one thing that I would recommend that you do whenever you get somebody who says yes, don't just send them to your course, okay? They can go in it. This is especially for high ticket offers because, we've just purchased a high ticket offer. So therefore we expect a bit more face time with people as well, right? When they join you, don't just send them off or send them an email and be done with it. What I always like to do, if I get a yes on a sales call, we collect all their information, and I've been like the sales component, that's a whole nother lesson. But when you get to the yes, okay, then we process the payment and we talk next steps right on the sales call. Therefore, they don't leave and like, I've just paid all this money and now what? Right? And then they're just sitting around and they're like, where do I log into this? Where do I go to do that? So if time permits, we will give them an orientation. Now, if we can't give them an orientation, we book an orientation call as soon as possible after they say yes. So I really would like it within the first 24 to 48 hours. But at the end of the sales call, we also need to tell them what is going to happen next. So for us, we've got a lot of automation in place that happens once they hit that submit button. A welcome email automatically goes out to them with a link to sign a contract. And especially in that contract, we have an NDA because our private clients or our clients that are in group settings, we want all of our people to feel really safe, that they can share all the good, the bad, and the ugly and not feel judged. Okay, and know that it's private. So, what I might do is I might show you a little bit of the automation stuff that happens after somebody says yes into the automation. So, of course, like what we're doing now is we're looking at this phase number 6, and we're doing the onboarding section here inside of our framework. So the first thing that happens is after they say yes, they have, put in their information and they've made a payment on a checkout. It then goes through and we apply a tag, and that tag then says that they have purchased the product, which then initiates a welcome email. So that's automated. Now, in that welcome email, we have the welcome to the program, and then we also have the contract in there as well. Now, we've automated the contract. We've put a link in so that they can go in and fill it in. And as soon as it comes back, another tag is generated, which then says that the contract has been returned. Okay. And then we fire a heap of tags. We attach a lot of tags to the customer's file to trigger granting all of the assets. Now, for us, we have a few different places we send people when they join us. So the first thing they get is access to the course. Okay, so they'll grant access to the course. The second thing they get is a replay hub. That replay hub is where everything that we ever do inside the Sparkle world gets recorded and put into the replay hub, and it's fully searchable, so they can search for their name and they can find where we've spoken to them. And then the third thing we also grant them is a project management software that enables my team to continuously communicate with them, follow up with them, also to set them to-dos so that they can get them to done. So those are the 3 main things that get automatically generated when somebody joins our program. Now, once you go into these 3 things, it's going to be so overwhelming with the amount of content. So that is why we then have an onboarding call to be able to give them a guided tour. And I always like to think of it kind of like you join a university, or you start at uni. My daughter's just started at university. And you get there and you're like, where's the library? Where's the computer lab? Where do I go to print things, right? Where's the main office? Where do I go to get help? Where are my classrooms? So you've got to learn how to navigate around to get all of your different resources. Once we've given them an overview and a guided tour, and of course there's a video on that as well that does give the guided tour that they can go back to, but we like to do it one-on-one because if they've got any questions, we can answer them straight away. But also think about it from a client experience point of view. They are able to answer questions. They get a little bit of FaceTime with you after they've just spent a lot of money to join your program. And also, we get to find out what is confusing to them. Because if we know what's confusing by actually talking to them, we can fix our onboarding process, right? So then at the end of the onboarding process, the big thing we do is we need to know which area of our program they need to go into and focus on. Now, most people that join us, they will go into one of each of those phases, and they'll probably work in that phase for the first 2 to 3 months building out whichever component of their business is the biggest bottleneck or the biggest gap. But we set those expectations and let them know, even though there is a wealth of knowledge inside our program, that, people stay with us for years, and you're not going to use every single piece, because really, even though it is a framework, it's bespoke to you and to what you need and what area you particularly as a business need to work on. Now, one thing I've found with the new company is every single thing they grant us, from Facebook ads to messaging to software to all the areas, it's a different login for everything. And I'm thinking, I want to get into their front end and help them with their onboarding, because why aren't they putting one login for all of the things? It's the same software. I understand they're dividing out their departments, but it has been really hard, especially for Christy and I, because we get stuff done fast. And like I said at the beginning of this, I understand if it's slow, especially for those people that get highly overwhelmed. But also, I have personally found allowing people to see the resources also makes them feel like they've got value, but then make sure we dial them in. So have a think about how big your program is. Do they need to know everything in it right away? Point them to the area is going to give them the quickest win. And that's my next point that brings me to a quick win. What you want to try to do in, the first few weeks, especially within the first 30 days, is give them a big quick win, something that really feels of great value for joining the program. Now, inside our community, that's usually one of the mapping sessions, which, if you listened to last week, our mapping sessions are going, unless they pay separately for them, because it's a full day event. However, we still have to say, okay, what is going to be the big quick win? And for us is, we are going to build your tech and your entire funnel in the first 30 days, right? That's a huge win. That all of the tech and all of the confusion that you've been going through will literally be built in your first 30 days. Or there is the click by click done with you where you can build it out yourself. But I want you to really consider that onboarding experience, because especially now I'm going through one with another company, it's making me reflect on what we do. Right? It's not that their way is a bad way. It's just I haven't really enjoyed the experience for a fast action taker. Maybe somebody who takes it a bit slower and they're like, yeah, I've got you for 12 months. It's okay. It's only been a week and I've learned nothing. To me and Christy, that feels like months. Because if you've ever seen the way we work very fast. I mean, I put together a 50 speaker event in less than 4 weeks and filled it with heaps of people. Like, I work fast when I work fast. And I get that not everybody else does. Now, something that we've also experienced is the overwhelm because of the size of our program with people. There is this phenomenon that, you feel like you know lots and lots of information about a particular topic until you start to learn about it. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I really don't know as much as I thought I knew. Who has that feeling when you start learning? You're like, now I feel even more dumb. I thought I was really smart, but now I'm actually learning the process. There's all of these things that I realized that I didn't know. That is normal. And what can happen is we've had tears and people crying. And I mean, they're in the startup phases of business. And last week I spoke about this a lot, about, what it takes to be an entrepreneur. It's not the easy way, right? Working for somebody else who tells you what to do and you get paid at the end of every week, that's easy, right? It can be stressful at times, but when you run your own business, sometimes not everything goes as planned. But to ensure that your business is meeting the expectations of the people that you work with, it begins with the onboarding process. So many people, including I used to do this as well, we spend so much time trying to sell the program that we forget about the initial experience when they join the program. That is where so much of the good, that's where the work really happens, because now they're actually paying you for stuff. It's easy to give stuff away for free to get an email address, but now you've got to deliver on your promise. What is the promise of your program? That should always be, forefront of your mind. Is what I promised them being delivered? But also be humble enough to ask for feedback on how can I improve the process? Because by looking and listening, more listening to those people who are joining your program will allow you to improve it. So our onboarding process, sure, we've got a lot of automations and reminders and emails that go out that trigger things, but it's that human to human connection in those initial days, I think, especially if you're on a high ticket program, is so, so important. Because if you're anything if you've spent anything like the price that we've just spent on our program, the new service that we've just purchased, you want to get things going, right? You want to see some value for money in the first few days. Like Christy and I were starting to kind of get a little, have we made the right decision within the first week? Because we hadn't even spoken to anybody. They hadn't put us into the right areas. They forgot to add me into areas. I'm still not in the Slack channel. Christy's only in Slack. Like just these little tiny things that are taking days to complete. Now, I'm not saying that I've made the wrong decision. Time will only tell, because really at the end of the day, their promise is to run my ads and find me a closer. That's what I've purchased, right? To find me a capable closer. So, even though I didn't purchase their onboarding experience, or, they're not the company to set up onboarding. So I'm hoping that, well, the social proof and all the things, we did our research beforehand, is going to give us what we want, but they could definitely improve on their onboarding process. So I want you to really think about what happens. You've got the course probably all mapped out. If you're working with us, you've definitely got your course mapped out, or you're working on your course. You're busy thinking about lead gen, but don't forget about that little section in the middle of onboarding, because I truly believe it is so valuable to make sure that that experience is an enjoyable one. It's your first real impression. All the other impressions that you've given them up until that point have almost certainly been for free or very low ticket. But once they buy into your larger program, really this is that first impression of, is this company going to follow through? Is this coach going to give me the results that I need? Do they care? Right? Do they care? All right. So if you're in our program, we'll help you map out your onboarding process. So don't you worry about that. We've got you covered there. But if you're just listening to this for educational purposes, I want you to really start to think about, how can you help them? I highly recommend that they do get an orientation session with you to navigate them around. We do it when you join uni, right? My daughter had a whole week of orientation to learn how to navigate around uni. Make sure that you have some kind of session, right? An orientation session, because if you're following us, it's because you've got an online digital program and people need to know where to click and how to navigate, how that user experience is going to be. Then the next thing I want you to think about is, ongoingly, what are you going to do to hold them accountable? And this, starts from the initial welcome. So once they get into our project management software, once they get in there, they're introduced to the team. They can see all the expert channels. They can see all of the different phases at which they can work in. But a huge part that we do is every single week, we have a staff member send them a quick message. Now, this is not a copy and paste message. I know that it takes time, okay? I'm sure a lot of you are like, I would love to just automate a message that says, how you going this week? What's your goals this week? Really, really simple messages. And you can certainly do that, um, so that you know that if you miss a week, that it's happening. But think about it; these are humans that have purchased a program for you for some kind of coaching, educational, and support. Right? If they've paid high ticket, there should be a little touch from you. Right? I'm just going to open up, because every single Monday, Christy is one of the success coaches. She messages all of our clients. I'll try not to sort of say who they are, but like every Monday night, I read them, all the messages and all the replies. And then every week, we have a meeting where we talk about each of the clients, where they're at, where they're stuck, how they're going. But I went in there last night, as I always do, to quickly have a look. And this is what I mean about making it personal. So Christy knows, and she'll look quickly back through what the person's been up to, or she's aware of what's happening. And she's written, hey, so and so, how are you going? Did you see Strategy with Sally on Tuesday and get some ads help? So she knows that this person wanted some ads help, and she wanted to make sure, did you actually turn up last week? Or will you make time for it this week? And then, of course, the client's replied and says that she has, and I can see her in the room, which is really good. Another client is working on an evergreen funnel. So she's reached out to another client and said, how are you going with your evergreen funnel? It would be, I'd love to help you get some more things automated, without relying on you being present, because this client has kids and jobs and all the things, and they're just trying to get their evergreen set up. Another one in here, how are you going? What's your goals? And then tagged another of our staff members to say, can you update what their Kajabi build out for their course is looking like? So as you can see, she messages every single one of our clients, and they're all personal. And I would love to know, like, how long it takes her, which I haven't asked her, but how long it takes for a message. Honestly, I don't think it takes up a lot of time, but how much more loved would you feel rather than that generic, what's your goals this week? What do you plan to do this week? That's not, I don't feel, especially at a high ticket program, enough. And I always like to put myself, and my staff always like to put ourselves in our client's shoes. What would you expect? We've got another client who has been going through a lot of struggles personally. She's still been paying. She's, doing what a good client does, is pay her bills, right? But on the other hand, she's been so super busy with stuff that's going on personally in her life. Now, I've been in other programs, I can tell you, where stuff happens and they're like, too bad, so sad, you paid for 12 months, right? Of course, Christy's reached out and said, this client is having these struggles. It's been going on for 5 months. This is why we've been struggling to get in contact with her. We're like, extend her contract. If that was me, that's what I would do. So we've added extra months onto her program because she wasn't really using it before. Now, like I said, some companies I've used in the past are like, you paid for 12 months. Not my fault that you had life happen. But that's not what the experience is that I want. So always ask yourself, what would you want? Right? How good karma is actually one of our brand values inside of the business, right? To pay it forward, to do unto others as you would expect to be done to you. So it's really, today's little get shit done activity is, I want you to think about and map out just a few simple steps. Like, if this is not the phase of your business that you're working on, I don't want you to spend ages and ages on it, right? You really need to stay on the phase that you're supposed to be in. There's a reason for that, why you're in one of the 7 phases. But in phase 6 for the onboarding, at least map it at a few steps, right? A few things we can automate for you. And then also What's some human to human connection that you can put in that step to make your people feel at ease, right? Make them feel, wow, I'm so glad that I got in this program because I already feel support and I've only been here a week, right? Over deliver, wow the pants off them, especially in that first 30 days. I think there was somebody else's framework, they call it deliver and wow. You've got to find that wow factor because that's the thing that holds retention. Otherwise, people will stop paying after a month or two if you don't continue to truly deliver on what it is that you promised. And then over deliver, go beyond. Like we do some things in the background that we don't tell the clients about because we know we're going to over deliver in those areas, right? But we don't tell the clients. Like, for example, I'll just tell you because you're listening and it's all good. But when we've got experts in, like on the calendar it says an hour, I pay the experts for 2 hours just in case they go over an hour so that they can over deliver for our clients. Right now, that doesn't mean you can go in there and just talk about, the weather and stuff for 2 hours because you want company with our experts. But it's in place because over delivering and wowing our clients is something that's so, so important to us. So, have you got your onboarding mapped out? Have you thought about the processes and the time frames, especially within those first 30 days? And if not, this is your moment to think about that. What are the first few steps? And then put them into your phase 6 of your business model. So it's a process that you follow, and maybe you're just at the early stages of your business. Or, hey, if you are currently running your business, have you even asked your clients what their experience is like in the onboarding? And you know what? Even make them feel comfortable enough to tell you things that they think could be done better. Don't get defensive and use those, yeah, but I could have blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Just say thank you so much for sharing. Take it on board and think, can I actually do that? Is it viable? Is there a way to make it just a little bit better? Because remember, we're always iterating our program. If it still looks the same in 12 months' time, you're not actually doing your job. Right? Your business should always be iterating and getting better for your clients. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me for Strategy with Sally, or if you're listening on the podcast, Straight Talk with Sally today. And next week, I don't even know what the content is. We'll talk about it then. What I'm actually going to be doing over the next few weeks is, as we're using this new company to slowly remove me from, the main face of this business, not that I'm going anywhere, it's just that, I've built a team for a reason. But as we're experiencing the process, I'm going to be in here to share that with you. So the first step that we had was literally just an orientation-ish call. It was very generic. We didn't even get into the software. The next call took us nearly a week to get. And again, nothing really happened in that one. This morning, we had our first meeting with the ads team. And again, still nothing's happening. So we're come Thursday, I think we're 2 weeks in and our ads are still not live. That's okay. I will just make sure that we're not paying for the ad management until the ad management actually starts. But I've seen the results on the back end. They're supposed to run my ads and get me a closer. That's their promise. All the other stuff I could get angry about and I could throw my arms in the air, but I've got to remember the promise that I purchased as well. Get me a closer and manage my ads because I don't want to do it anymore. So we're getting there. I can't wait until they're actually running so I can share those sexy numbers with you because, I'm totally honest with how things are going and I'm going to share all the results. Once the ads are running, I'll have something actually to share with you. So hang on in. It's coming. It's coming in the next few weeks. All right, guys. So before we head off, as always, I'd love to hear from anyone in the room. I can see Meg's here and Erica. That makes me so happy. Yay. And we've got a few other of our clients in as well. But who would like to share a key takeaway from today before we go dark for our Q&A? You know, I'm here for you for the rest of the day and all until all questions are answered. Who's going to talk? Oh, looks Maria. I'm just going to bring her up. Hello, Maria. I'm going to pin you and come up. What is something you've learned from
Pin me.
today?
Well, so I thank you for your honesty. I really appreciate. It seems like an intimate conversation, and well, I think having an onboarding process, you're very right. You know, it is part of excelling. And I think I appreciate very much that your onboarding process, even though I'm still new and I'm still navigating, it's something that is available and is very comprehensive. So it is a reflection of who you are and what you had built.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Come on, don't be shy. Just unmute and I'll see you unmute. If you would like to share words of wisdom, everyone's going to be quiet. Everyone just wants to get into question time, I bet. Erica, hello.
I'll
I'm
unmute.
so
You might not be able
happy
to
to
see me.
see you.
I know it's been a whirlwind. But I do agree, and then also agree with the part of like following up and checking in too. So
Yeah.
that's I like that piece of the program.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, we used to automate the follow-ups. We used to put a post in Facebook and we used to put an automation in the chat software that would go out to clients, but it just didn't feel like, I don't mind putting a post up in Facebook, but really what the clients are paying for us is results, and we can't give them results if they don't do the actions and if we don't even know where they're at. Right. This is why we have a weekly client meeting where we come together and we literally go through every single one of our clients and work out what is it where they're stuck. Are they struggling? Or sometimes it's like, just leave them alone, right? They've got other stuff they're doing right now. So I think it's really important, especially if you're selling high ticket, to not just care about the sale. We excel in delivery. I can totally tell you. Our delivery, our staff love our clients so much, and they're always telling me stories, or they're chatting with them on the side about other things because they really do care. And I think that's a reflection of hiring people with the same values as you. You know, I've been through a lot of staff over the years, and you know, the staff we have now truly care about you, and you know, that makes me really proud to, you know, I love our client catch-up sessions with the staff to see how you're all going. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head off from the live stream because everybody's here for me now to do questions and answers and look at sexy numbers. And I will stay in the room here with our clients today until all questions are answered. That is my promise to you. So everybody else out there, thank you so much for joining us today on Strategy with Sally. Make sure you get at least one income producing activity done each and every day. And as always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. I'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you gotta step into the light.
Oh, alrighty, I'm back. Hang on. Christy, are you good to record or are you still out? Christy,
Sorry,
Joy.
I will soon. Yeah, I'm good to record.
Yeah, cool.
Recording in progress.
All right, Strategy with Sally, Tuesday, the 21st of May, part 2. Erica's hot to trot. She has her hand up. How can I help you,
I'm
Erica?
here. Thank you for your patience. I know we did this back in March. I am stuck and just need you to remind me where I need to go for activating my ad.
Ah, excellent. All right, well, bring that up on your computer and let me just make sure it's
Right.
turned on. Yeah, and then you can do a share screen for us.
I remembered and then I forgot and then I'm just
All good, all good. All right. So, are we running with what you ran last time? How did they perform last time?
I never activated.
Oh, okay.
I was supposed
Never
to do it
activated.
today.
All right. Okay.
And then I
So,
don't know if this retirement is correct with care, like
yeah.
I would think the person you're caregiving is retirement age,
right.
but not the actual caregiver. Because
All
we're
right.
having problems trying to find the category.
Yeah. Okay. So, can we just start at the top? I just want to make sure. So, if we can go to the top section, let's just make sure all of these are set up correctly first. And
Is
just
that
know
working?
everything. Yeah, takes
Should I
a little.
refresh?
Yeah. But yeah, everything it's slow. It's just Facebook or Meta. So don't worry
I
if
don't
things
know.
take ages to load.
Okay.
All right. So we've got, on conversion, interest, add one. We'll just wait for everything to load.
Okay.
All right. And just scroll down. Yep.
We have
Option.
leads, so I got that
leads.
far.
Yep. $25 a day budget. Yep. At top level, that's good. Yep. Yeah, that's all good. Okay, you can click next. Okay. Okay, yep, conversion. Scroll down.
This is where I don't know if this is.
So the name we give this is the audience that we select, which is further down the page. So
Okay.
we'll see what audience you've selected when we get down there. So
Okay.
we're sending them to a website. That's correct. So go down. Make sure your performance fine. Pixel. Yep, we've got a pixel set up. Good. Select.
Oh, I gotta update this date. This is where. How do I? Oh, there we go.
Yep.
So if I redo it, that it's gonna start now on the 10th, then do
Yep.
I back it up to the 27th then?
Yeah,
So then that's 2
generally,
weeks.
so day one. So we start it in usually just before pre-party week. So we're running an ads and we're optimizing them and then we're turning them off on like day one.
So then if day one's the 10th,
So we want to be running ads the week before.
so then will that be the 3rd then?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. So if day one is the 10th, then we'll run ads right through till midnight on the 10th.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so you'll be still running ads on day one, but that's okay. Most of your attendees, like even if we put it in a shorter window, the people that join in those last few days are more likely to show up. However, we want to start to optimize the ad, so we want to give ourselves a bit of time to do that in the first few days as well. Yep. Okay, so that's your start and end date. Now let's go down to your audiences. And in your audience section, okay, so you've chosen countries and we've got a caregiver. That's good. Oh, yeah, cool. Can you just hover over those so I can look at their numbers? Yep, so you got 72,000. Go down to caregiver, home aid, health. Yep, 13. Next one. Yep. Okay, keep going.
This was the one I wasn't sure if we needed.
Yeah, look, leave it in. See, your copy is what's going to start to refine your ads. Like literally, I run mine to self-development, right?
Mm,
Can you think about how many people are in the who have self-development as an interest?
hmm
Heaps. But it's my copywriting that starts to that Meta's, algorithms are smart enough to look at our copywriting and start to put them in front of the right people. Because at the end of the day, they want us to do well on our ads, or we wouldn't spend money on the ads, right? They're not there to try and just take our money, apart from the big boost button. That's definitely a money grubber. But for those who run proper ads, they want you to do well. But you're in
hmm
like around a 12 million audience size, so that's a nice size for that group. And then yep, just scroll down. Everything else looks pretty decent. Now just click next. Okay. Yep. So we've written add one, has something to do with harmony. All right. Just turn the preview on, so you'll see on the right. Yeah, just flick that on so we can look at the ad. Now let's scroll down, and we're going to show where we're going to deliver the ad. So at the moment, it's go back up. Gone scroll too fast. Go back up, back up. All right. So under identity, you've got the courageous caregiver. Do you have an Instagram page at all? Yeah.
hmm Yes.
Yeah. So we can also deliver ads on Instagram. So if you want to connect here your Instagram account, you might need to actually connect the account if it's not already connected. So you just click on the connect account button on the right
Oh,
hand
sorry.
side, and that'll prompt you to log in and all the things, and then it'll be
Oh, got it.
connected.
Okay,
So
so I could do that later.
yeah, we'll do that now, get it
Just
done so that we
uh,
are ready, because then we can duplicate the ad, because we want to run a few different ads as well.
think this is it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what my password is.
Uh,
I know it for my other one, like my normal, like this one.
so I can't see your pop-ups because you're only sharing one screen.
Oh, right.
Um,
Okay.
but do you know, can you look up your login details for Instagram somewhere?
Let's see if it'll show me on the app. Mm. I wonder if it would be under my like my phone password, like how password
Maybe.
manager, I guess.
Unless you know you could do a reset password.
Mm, yeah, I could do this.
All right. Well, we can leave it just for a second, and I'll just scroll
Okay.
down, and let's just make sure
Okay.
everything else, because we've got to set up the copy. Then we can connect the Instagram, and then once you do that, we can come back and I can show you how to start to deliver, duplicate. All right. So now we're going to do the creative. So at the beginning, do you have your image? Have you sorted your image that you're going to do?
Mm, I don't know if I have that.
Joyce, could you grab the links for the templates, please, for the Facebook ads? They're in the useful
Oh,
links
I
section.
have,
There should be
I
three
think she helped
versions of the
me
same
with, yes,
image.
she helped me with them, yes, because it was the same mm, on Canva, maybe.
Yeah, correct. So there's three different sizes. So we've got templates for you in three different sizes.
I saw them there today. Hold on, let's look and see. Mm, I feel like they're in these, right?
Yep, that'd be them.
940, 1080,
Yep,
right?
yep. There should be another one as
And
well.
then
I
I
think
should have
that's,
a third one.
yep, a square. I think I saw it back. If you just go back.
Oh,
There,
this one?
1080 by 1080. Yep. Yeah, there you go. It's the same, just a different shape. So you need to save out each of those as a PNG. And I can see on the 1080 by 1080, there's a few versions. So we want to get the 3 that are the
Yeah.
same.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's that one, isn't it?
Hold on, let me see which.
Oh,
I can't
I think
remember which. There's two different
Yep.
words.
I think, well, I remember seeing
Mine-
harmony in your ad copy or in your description. So I think it was the
Yes.
harmony version that you were going to do. So save the harmony one.
Mm.
Yep, download, change it to a PNG. Just at the top, make sure it's on a
Okay.
PNG. It's currently set to an
Yeah.
MP4. Yep, download that one. And now go to the next image and do the same thing. Now the words are different here. We need the words to be the same.
So it's the same on this
Okay. What if you can send the link and Joyce can just quickly whip it up for you. Are you there, Joyce? Wakey, wakey, Joyce.
Yeah, I think she or you have it.
Can someone ping Joyce for me, please?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Thank you. All right. So to finish these ads, Erica, we can't
Yeah.
go any further until we've got
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
image,
Okay.
the
All right.
Instagram connected, and your copywriting.
Yeah.
Have you written your copy?
Yes.
Yeah,
I have
excellent.
that in a Google. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. All right. So if you can get
I'll
that,
come back.
yeah, so stay in the room because we'll get it done today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Those 3 things need to be done. Then we can publish this one and then we can start duplicating at the ad set level. So we've got a couple of versions of images, but the copy's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to need another 2 images as well. Has that been
Over here.
sorted? Do you have 3 versions of the images?
Yeah, I have this one, I have
Yeah, in the
1080,
1080.
920, 940, and then this one's 1080, 1080.
Yeah. I mean, different looking images because the first thing they're going to, so what we're going to do is see which image works best along with
Oh,
the copywriting. Yeah. And then, so what we're going to run, hang on, let me see if I can show this. Yeah. So what you're going to have, right, is you're going to have a campaign. So that's the campaign level, right?
mhm.
And then under here, the ad set is the audience. Okay. And then under that, you're going to have your creative. So that's your text, your image, right? And then you're going to have image. The only thing that's going to be different is image 1. And then we're going to do exactly the same audience again, but we're going to do an image 2 and an image 3. right? So it's and then what we're going to do is run this here. So does that make sense to you, or do you need me to
Mhm.
explain it better? It makes sense? Okay.
Mhm.
Then what we do is we duplicate at this level, right, across, and then we have exactly the same images running, but we do another different audience here. So we might try something really broad and see what it brings you, because that way we can test different audiences and see which audiences perform better. So they'll still have the same creative and copy, but we'll have a different audience here. So this one is the caregiver one, but we might start to think, okay, well, what other audiences might be looking, do they like personal development stuff,
Mhm.
right? And maybe we just give it a go. If the
Okay.
copywriting's good, personal development, because these types of people are people that are doing caregiving but also want to take care of themselves,
Mhm. Okay.
right? Like in personal development, not everyone who follows personal development wants to run marketing funnels, but somehow our ads still work under that. So that might be a second audience. So I need you now to get these 3 versions of the image, and each of them are going to have 3 sizes. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And 3 different
3 different looks.
looks.
Yeah.
Same content, different content.
You can try a different version of content as long as it is still similar to what is in the copywriting. So for me, what I
Yep.
do literally is I don't even put pictures, I don't even put words on my copy. I run them 3 different photographs of me. So
Got it. Okay.
what I'll do is I'll do, you know, just different photos of me, making sure I'm looking at the camera and I'm smiling, and that there's a good bit of contrast between me and the background. So if I had a green dress on, I wouldn't take it in front of a green tree,
Yeah.
right? So there's
Yeah.
nice contrast between you, and you look caring and easily approachable, right? Smiling into the
Yeah.
camera. Okay, so you could
Okay.
try
All right.
an image like that. Like for Sarah, for example, with the puppies, we tested
Mhm.
so many different cute puppies to see which of all of the different cute puppies most of the audience thought were the cutest, right? And there's this, I think it was like one playing with a little tug toy, ended up being the winner. I would never have thought it would have been the winner, but once it went out to the audience, it seemed to be the one that they liked the most.
Okay.
The,
All right.
the
All
one
right.
that tends to work with me is a picture of I've got an orange dress on, which is great because I've got a green background, but I'm sitting with my dog. Who doesn't like dogs, right? That's why I love Sarah's business. All
All right.
right,
Well,
so
I'm
if
gonna
you
go
can come back to me with
6.
those bits of
Yep.
content, then I'll be able to help you finish and duplicate those ads.
Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. All right, next up, who else do we have for questions?
I guess I have some
Yep, go for it.
questions, but I am a bit too embarrassed to where to
Oh,
start. And I guess it's more related to the master plan document.
mhm.
And I am finding a little bit difficult the
Sure.
view of the let me put my camera on, sorry. So I'm
That's
having
okay.
the view of the document,
Yep,
and so I guess I got the panels on the left side to navigate,
yep,
day 1, day 2, day 3,
yep.
and then so you asked me to put all the content with the 3 bullet points plus stories. Obviously the stories don't fit in there. So then what I've done is to create um a OneNote where I am, mapping all these stories as well.
Yep.
And then I am seemed a little bit lost in terms of how would I hook them, and I have created hooks. How would I hook them for the next day, and then the second day for the third day?
Yeah, sure, sure. All right, give me one moment. I'm just going to jump
I don't
into.
know if you need to view that document
Yep, yep,
and get
it's
back to
okay.
me,
No, no,
and
I'll
say,
jump in. I'll jump into it now. Just bear with me. I'm just heading into it.
Yes, I will head into it and as well. Oh dear me. I tell you, I have worked and also I've been questioning my learning ability. And
Really?
so I
Okay.
for each of the days I'll go back and repeat
Mm-hmm.
the video on the academy,
Yep.
and have I missed anything, and then I'll go and implement it because you ask me to take action, to go for it rather than asking for perfection. So
Yes.
that's what I done. I go and review the video. What have I missed here? You know, when you see a movie, you learn more the
Yeah.
next time, or you get more insights from seeing it the next time. And yeah, anyway, so I am on day 3,
Yep. Okay.
and
All right. Well, let me review it with you, and hopefully, this is going to give you the help that you need. All right. So
dear me.
I'm just going to head straight into
All
the
right.
executive summary because that's the bit that is what we look at when it comes
Yes,
to
yes,
your actual
yes,
daily presentation. All right. So your
yes.
title, Step Up, throw your hat in the ring, tagline, reclaim a stronger sense of self-awareness. And your
Mm-hmm.
hooks for those are the one thing you can
I
do
got the
today to
hooks.
overcome
Mm-hmm.
limiting beliefs, triple your chances of taming the monster. And the best part is it takes less than 15 minutes to complete. To package your
Mm-hmm.
knowledge,
That's
give a voice to your uniqueness without spending t-
lifetime
lifetime
in
in
therapy.
therapy pain free.
So there were hooks. One is in the fast, and the other one is something else. So that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
two.
So I usually like it's up to you, but it's a good idea to try and use each of the options that I've given you, because
Okie dokie.
you can test them, like verbally say them out
Ah,
loud. So I would do this. I'd be like, "Welcome to day number 1. I'm so excited because today I'm going to share with you the one thing you can do today to overcome your limiting beliefs." So it's going to triple your chances of taming that monster. Now, what does that even mean? Okay, so when I say that out loud, I'm like, okay, my audience is probably going to question, what is the monster?
well, the monster of the limiting beliefs that is holding you back. I don't know which one's yours, but it could be that you're not worth it, that money doesn't grow on trees, or
Okay,
grows on trees, or whatever it is limiting, or no,
yeah.
that course is too
All
expensive.
right.
I can't
So,
pay
how
that.
about this? So, the one thing you can do today to overcome those limiting beliefs. So, those limiting beliefs are that
Cool.
little monster on your shoulder telling you something that you're not worthy, right? Does that sound
Mm,
a little bit
cool.
more understandable for your audience rather than taming the monster? Because
Perfect.
you
I
need
can
to
change
understand
that.
what is the monster. All right. So it's that
Yes,
monster
I'll change that.
internally that's telling you you're not worthy or you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep it super simple. And the best part
Mm-hmm.
about it is you're going to do it in less than 15 minutes today. Right. So that's kind of
Yeah.
how that's your hook for the lesson. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now, so the result without
So
the
then I have
pain.
another hook, but I don't know if I need it. So I put 2 examples there.
Yeah. So sometimes I might throw in 2 or 3, as I'm sort of
Cool.
working my way through the presentation. So you might even say, and also we're going to show you how you can actually start to now. This to me, packaging up your knowledge and then giving it a uniqueness feels like a whole nother lesson. Very different from teaching people what a limiting belief is.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So on day 1,
Yes.
I would focus on what's holding them back first. So what's the big promise? What's your promise that you're going to give them for the 3 days?
Where
Um,
is that? Where is the promise? Um, where have I written it? You must encounter these every time. The promise is it in there at the top? No, no. All right. So I
This is the
haven't written
live
the promise.
launch.
Okay. I have not written the promise. I don't know. I
So
don't. I
your
can't
no,
remember
that's
what's the
okay.
promise.
That's okay. So let's have a look here.
It's in the strategy. Oh my God!
No,
Seriously,
it's
Maria.
okay. It's all good. No, Maria, don't. You are doing a fabulous job. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Okay. And I think the main reason why you're questioning yourself is the more you learn, the more you realize you need to learn. Okay. And this is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Okay. So Google it. You are currently in the Dunning-Kruger effect. So
Yes,
from
exactly.
your
Every time I hear you speaking, I feel like, oh, geez,
I need to know more. Yeah,
something.
it's totally
Yeah.
normal. It's actually a phenomenon. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. That the more you learn, the more you realize you need to know. So the
Yes.
promise of your 3 days, what should happen there is, what's the promise of your larger program, and then
Mm-hmm.
what small part of your larger program are you going to
Mm-hmm.
teach, and what's the outcome, what's the promise of that? So we like to think about the larger program to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
and then which small piece of that larger program are you going to pull out and teach as a sample
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
into what it is that you're going
Mm-hmm.
to do. All
So
right.
the larger program, the promise is that in 90 days, I will help you to reclaim your vision and rewrite your story by having these 6 steps that go through limiting beliefs, this and this and that. And I am teaching 3 steps only.
Yes.
And so if you go
So you're
on
doing
day
the
1,
overview version versus one single thing. So your live
yes, I'm
event
doing 3
of the 6.
3 short snippets
Mm-hmm.
of 3 steps out of 6.
Yeah. So just in the other document, the workbook, okay, in here is where you've got
Oh yes.
your promise for the big program, and then in the
All
3
right. So the
days is
workbook.
the smaller promise. Okay.
Yes.
So
Cool.
that's on page 15.
Workbook page 15. Yes,
Yeah.
because then I have the event master plus the workbook, and then yeah. So I
So this
haven't
is
been
to
used
be
in the workbook.
so this workbook here, right, is to really
Mm-hmm.
it's a brainstorming workbook that you work through. The master document is what you're using for the live event. Okay. So making sure
Mm-hmm.
that you're using it. But this is pulling together everything that we need to create. So it's brainstorming a lot of stuff. That's why there's so many large writing sections in here. Okay. It's so that you can
Mm-hmm.
brainstorm out. And then the final one, the master document, is what we use to put together your actual live event. So if I come back over to your master. So
Right. So I
just
have to go back to workbook then, and then
no. All I need
pull.
from you, all I need is, what are you hoping for them to achieve at the end of the 3 days? What do you want them to achieve? And then what 3 steps are you going to help them to get there? So day 1,
Yes.
I think you either talk about, and it depends on what the hook is that you're bringing them in. So I'm going to come back to you. Like, explain to me, okay, let's just start from scratch. Explain to me what your larger program is promising them again.
So in 90 days, I will help you to reclaim your vision and rewrite your story by taking you through six steps. And well, the step up, the set values, creating a story, set goals, and speak out, creating a life plan, and then seizing opportunity. So that's the 6 components. I closed my laptop, so I don't have the whole, but I can bring it, my framework here. So
Okay.
I am pulling 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, and step 5 out of the 6. So 3 components. You set in your videos. They need to make sense on their own, so in and of itself. And so I think, like, yes, if I teach only step 1, then it will make sense. Also, the step 2 will make sense on its own, and step 5, it also has it will make sense as well.
All right.
So,
So I'm just looking at
right.
your mapping
So
session.
the
Let me just have a look here. Okay, so I'm looking at your
so it's
mapping
a
session.
series.
And then
Yeah.
your premise.
So it's a series of steps designed for audacious women and da 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 da. Possibly. So I think the promise is that practical steps to gain clarity, set a compass, construct a new reality, dream big, articulate, and manifest a
What's
new
their biggest
identity.
struggle? Tell
I'm
me
not
what their
sure if
biggest
that
struggle. What's their biggest struggle? What are they really
caught up.
struggling with? Why do they want you?
They want me because they ideally they want to package their knowledge. They're still working full time, and they don't know where to start. They are doubting themselves. I don't want to be an employee all of my life, but I would like to create this, but I don't know. And so
Okay. And so
these
when you say
steps
package your
bring a little
knowledge,
bit of clarity.
yeah, when you say package your knowledge, tell me more. What are you helping them do to package their knowledge?
Well, I'm helping them more is to gain more clarity about what they want. Exactly, you know, even what I'm going through
Yeah.
right now in this program.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
when I'm not sure, you've been an employee and you hesitated so much to go on your own, and your self-worth and what you knew or what you know and how you can put it to use, because the restructure is coming. The new boss, you don't like him or you don't like her. The change of government is coming, and it's imminent that your contract's not going to be renewed, or your position comes to a term. And so, this is what I keep saying in my messages. Are you waiting for the last moment? And so, ideally, my program, I always have envisaged, and when we discuss in the strategy, it was about bringing these desires on the people. It is possible. I'm not saying that it will be easy, but although I'm not teaching entrepreneurship and I'm not teaching business, and say, by clarifying your limiting beliefs, by challenging your limiting beliefs, by shining that light, by getting new values, or the values that will take you through these difficult times, by putting together a story that represents your journey, and you are able to articulate it with clarity. And I'm also say that your purpose is related to your pain. So by even giving shape to a story, it helps them to clarify, oh, wow, I think by understanding that, I can serve this person, and they start dreaming about it. I can serve this audience in the future. So that's possibly what I have been correlating to package your knowledge. And so, and then goals, like I never wanted to set goals. And a lot of people don't want to set goals because they don't have a vision of themselves. And so I'm saying I will teach you goals that are based on the events that you want to attract, rather than smart goals that are, people say that, are they really realistic? And then how would you communicate with having vision and having a story and having goals and having new values and even challenging your limiting beliefs, how are you going to communicate that? And then I think in the strategy we created, the fifth step was it's aimed to create a life plan. But in that life plan is the way that they're going to communicate to their world, because even sometimes it's difficult to approach your mom and dad and tell them this is what I'm doing, and they you know that they don't believe in you because they believe that you should have a 9 to 5 job.
Okay. All right. So I've got here
Does
in
that make
3 days.
sense?
Yeah. I'm just taking lots of notes while you're writing. So in 3 days, you will gain the confidence to be able to share your knowledge. And then we can target
Mm-hmm.
employees, right? So people who are working currently in a corporate job,
Yeah.
they're stuck in the daily
Mm-hmm.
grind, and they're
Mm-hmm.
looking, they know they have knowledge and they want to share it, but they just don't have the
Mm-hmm.
confidence to do so. So you're in
Yes.
3 days, you're not actually going to help them package up their knowledge. They're not going to achieve that
No,
in
you're
3
right.
days. It's too much. You're not,
No.
okay?
So,
But you can give them the confidence to believe that they will be able to package up their knowledge and move from a corporate job to working for themselves. So they're taking the first
yes.
steps. Okay, so bring it back to less than what you're trying to get done in 3 days. We can talk about all the other things like, you know, the power of the story and a little bit of the limiting beliefs and all the other steps. But at the end of the day, your goal is to give them the confidence to believe. So in 3 days, you will have the confidence to start turning your knowledge into a business. Start, right? They just need the confidence to start turning their knowledge. Now, we might not use the word business, but it could be a course or it could be a product or a
Mm-hmm.
sellable thing. So you
I call
can,
it aspirations.
okay, we
I
want to
call it
keep it.
their aspiration.
Yeah, we don't want to call it what you call it. We want to call it what they call it. Do they use that word? We don't know.
Cool. No,
Yeah.
possibly no.
Yeah. So one of the rules here in your
I call it.
marketing side is only use words that they use. Like I used to use the word before automation was a known thing. I used to use the word automation all the time. Once I started talking to people, they actually said things, oh, God, just wish it would happen on autopilot. Well, that's sales and marketing funnels. But if I said that, over their head, but if they say, I can help you set things up on autopilot, well, that makes a bit more sense. All right. So you're in 3 days, you will have the confidence and
To
belief in
believe.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You will have the confidence and belief in yourself to use
Mm-hmm.
your knowledge to
Mm-hmm.
to share your knowledge with others. Maybe it just starts there. And then in your
Yeah.
messaging and copywriting, we're targeting corporate people who are currently working as a corporate employee. And the reason why we target corporates, they got money, right? They got free money to spend to
Well,
start
the
chasing their
idea.
dream. They're not, and especially like that graphic that I always show on how many hours you have in a day to chase your dreams. Even if you work a full-time job, you've still got 38 hours a week to chase your dream. Even if you work a full-time job, look after the kids, sleep, all the things,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
So now that I know where you're going, now what we can do is we can focus on what the lessons are going to be. So if we head back over into the lesson section.
Yes.
So this
So,
first one here,
thank you, Sally.
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
This first one here is
Mm-hmm.
really about teaching them about the monster. what is the monster, right? So the monster, I like to call it, you call it the monster, I call it the itty bitty shitty committee. The little thing sitting on your shoulder saying you can't do it. No, your mum will laugh at you. Your friends will think you're insane. You know,
Yeah,
that's not real.
absolutely.
That's just something that's in your brain telling you, right? So day one is helping them to meet the monster and squash him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's it. That's all we want them to do. And the goal at the end of the day is for them to list out what are those things the monster's telling you. I'm not good enough. You can't do it. It's too hard. I'm not confident. I'm an introvert. What are all the things that the monster's saying? So at the end of day one, that's what they'll achieve. And all,
So then,
that's
with
their
that in
homework.
mind,
That's their homework, literally.
sure.
Write down all the little itty bitty or all the monster things that you hear,
Yes.
right?
Plus, I have a free resource that they can take home, which is the work by Byron Katie. That yes, it's they
Okay.
can take home and do it.
Yep. How long would it take them to do
That
that?
that's nearly 15 minutes because they don't. We can even do one practice live with one of the persons.
Yep.
Because it's about mapping a limiting belief, and it takes 4 questions.
Okay. Excellent.
So
So get them, that's their homework then. Pick one. So do a brainstorm of all the shitty things that your brain tells you. And now let's pick one and map it. And that's their homework.
yes.
All right. So
Yeah.
that's day one.
Mm-hmm.
Mapping and squashing one limiting belief that's holding you back. Okay. Day two.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've squashed the limiting belief. What have you got here? Passion versus purpose. Set values.
That's
Navigate
the
your purpose.
values.
For the quick, easy fix hook. Discover the swift,
Shift, break free from outdated blueprints and instantly upgrade your life.
Now tell me what
I
that
need to practice.
means in less flowery words.
Well, that's thanks to AI.
Okay.
So the step 2, set values, is always being about challenging or not challenging, but or contesting. I can't find the word in English. The old blueprint that you brought from your parents. Your parents gave you these values when you were in your imprint era or of development, and then you still have that you have to work hard, that you have to have integrity in your job, that you have to demonstrate hard work even if you don't feel good. The work ethic is to show up in your job. So are these values serving you for what you want to do, for gaining confidence to believe that you can start turning your knowledge into, and share it with others? And what are those values that will take you through this next step? So that is what this step is all about. And
Okay.
yes.
So this one is now really looking at the values that they got from their parents, and is it the ones that are good for you? They're the ones, or is that what you're really trying to help them with?
Yeah, so it's about challenging or viewing or creating awareness. What are these outdated blueprint values that you got? And because most of us, might have parents from different era, and then we have our parents' values from that era. But
Yep.
what are the values from the 21st century that will help you to create what you want? Of course, like we'll have to work and pay the bills and all the rest, but like can you still work on something that makes you feel passionate and create something for yourself?
Okay. So what you're trying to say is the outdated values is the only way to make money is to work in a job and get paid, and we're
Yes,
only working in a job because that's what we were told we had to do. But there is another way. You can still pay, you still can work in a job and pay, but you can still chase your dreams, your aspirations. So
that's
the
the idea.
shift that you're trying to make them aware, this is a mindset shift, is you can still work a full-time job and start to share, start to package up your ideas into knowledge programs
Mm.
while working a full-time
Y-
job. Let me share this graphic with you then, because this one I think will be really good in I'll drop it in the chat. Albums. Because what they could do, a nice task here. I'll show you. Hang on, I can find the graphic first. This one. Send to. Where's the computer? AirDrop. AirDrop. Computer. Oh,
Mhm.
all right. So there's this. So what you're trying to do is, oh, I've sent it to the wrong person. Hang on a second. Somebody sent me a private message. Let me do everyone.
To Megan, another M.
Oh, no. So when somebody sends you a message, it moves from everyone to whoever sent you a private message. All right.
Oh,
So
of course.
there's this one. Here's
Yeah.
a little activity, and you don't have to use it, but this might be something. Um, so just on
Mm-hmm.
here. So what I used to do, so I'd share this graphic that I've just dropped into the chat with you, and
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
I would get them to map out. So you've got, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And then each day has, um, like a 3 hour block. So you got morning, so 9, 10, 11 sort of thing. Or you could do before work, morning, afternoon. So you could go like 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 5, 6, 6 to 9, right? And then what I do is I get them to do, first thing is C. Okay, so C equals committed time. Stuff you can't get out of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here, work, 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 work every afternoon or morning to afternoon. Oops, on a Monday, not on a Saturday. And I've got Saturday, Sunday down the bottom, right? So I'd go, committed. Oh, no committeds there. Let's get rid of this Sunday. Okay, so I'd get them to do that. Now, other committed time might be, this might be committed because, you finish work or you finish up work and drive home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you pick
Now,
up the
some people get,
kids and do the
yeah,
dinner and whatever.
yeah, right. And then it depends how late they stay up. But then you've got committed, then you've got lifestyle. Okay. So lifestyle is things like, you know what? On a Friday afternoon, I like to sit outside in the court with my neighbours and have a drink and a chat and watch the kids play. Right? On a Tuesday morning, I go to the gym before work. On a Thursday, I go to the gym before work. On a Tuesday night, I go to, I don't know, Toastmasters or something, right? I'm just making stuff up here. But they're lifestyle choices. After you've mapped out your committed hours and your lifestyle hours, then everything else is a spare. Okay? Like on a Sunday, it might be a lifestyle choice in the morning or Saturday, but then all Saturday, all afternoon on Saturday, it's spare. You can choose to do what you want. Okay, so we put all of these in. And now what we do is we say, you see all those spare hours? Let's make them working towards your goal of making money so you can leave your corporate job. And so I used to do that as a project to get people to see that they have more hours than they think they have. I actually used to run a mapping session on time because surprisingly, people have a lot more time than they think they've got. And if you start to add these up, you've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 21, 30 hours already, right? That you didn't even think you had. So what there is no excuse. Remember the monster we quashed yesterday? Don't let them stop you from working on your dream in your spare time. How does that sound for day 2? So you're still talking about
Sounds great. Yeah.
You're still talking about your parents, right? And you're still speaking
Blueprint.
the blueprint. So that's the educational part. The blueprint that your parents have given you that you have to work a job. That's how you make money. But you're trying to shift that and then show them what they've got available. Also, it leaves a gap for your program because they still need, right? So that'll be a great hook leading into day 2 because day 1, we've figured out that this little itty bitty or the monster on your shoulder, giving you all those crazy thoughts, he's not real. But tomorrow I'm going to show you how you can now find that you have more time available than you believe you have in one quick project we can do in 5 minutes. So that's like a hook to the next day. You could use that to try to move them. So you can still use your educational parts, but then using this as a nice, simple, not too hard, but a way to make them have a mindset shift that this is possible. Rather than watching 4 hours of television at the end of the day, why not spend 4 hours working on your dreams? So how's that, Maria? It's still sticking with what you're teaching, but
yes,
simplifying it into a really simple project.
sounds cool, Sally. Yes, you're giving it a spin onto time management as well, which is something that I haven't really considered. But yeah.
So, I mean, if you have another idea as well, like totally share it with me because I still want you to share parent values, right? Because we don't want them to quit their job, right? At the end of the day, you're not here to teach them to quit their job. You're there to give them the courage to follow their dream while still working in corporate to eventually leave their job.
Self-belief, yes.
Correct. That's what you're giving them.
Self-belief, courage. And so no, I think you're right. It's just that initially I had by then eliciting new values. Then what are the values that will help you have that confidence and self-belief? And then creating even that statement or that anchor that then when you go and map your Monday to Sunday day, well, how is this value going to help you commit to that self-belief?
Perfect.
How is that, so, one thing links to the other.
Yep.
But if my value is to, okay, be a couch potato because this is what I've been doing, but I realize that I am unhappy. Okay, you realize that you're unhappy because you haven't mapped out your time, how you can use effectively your time, but also your values. The tagline is your values are your true north, is your compass. And so that's what I am trying to teach people.
Yep.
When you elicit values, when you commit to those values, then your actions
Yep.
are guided by that.
Tell me about the activity that you would do to help people discover what their values are. Because what if some of these people have come in and have never really sat down to think about what are their values? They're just doing the daily grind, but they just know something's wrong, right? They've got this weight of there has to be more to life than this.
There is a free activity that we map in the session, in the strategy session, and is about values elicitation. And it's totally free, so that they can actually we can do a quick example with one of the participants then, or they can take it for a homework. And I explained also, I think in the first day, that in the second day we'll be covering all this, but this is what we will have for tomorrow, a chance for tomorrow only.
So is it that values survey that I shared with you when we did the mapping session?
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yes.
Well, see, that's a good activity that you could do on day 2.
Yeah, because it's also free.
And it's free, but we want them to reply without making it complicated. So just to list their top 5 values. That's it, right? We don't want them to have to explain them or understand them, because understanding how to live within your values is more than one day's work, right? It's one thing to know, have the word of what things you value, but it's a whole nother thing to actually understand, like, when you start to feel uncomfortable about things, it's maybe because you're outside your values, or, like when you're sitting on the couch watching the TV and there's this thing and this feeling like I should be doing something
else. The itty-shitty committee.
It's probably because you're living outside your values. You're sitting on the couch, right? Or you spend every week out, with your friends, and I don't know, like, or, your kids are getting older and you're finding that they're looking after themselves more and you're feeling lonely now. So these types of things are like the stories that you share around values. You don't have to use the time one, but just from looking at, what you'd written, that's the first thing that came to my mind. But I like the other activity too, right? Because at the end of the day, remember what our promise is. Our promise is
to
give them confidence in 3 days that they can start working on their dream while still, I love that one even better. You can start working on your dreams while working.
On your dreams. Yes, while you're working full time.
Yeah, you can work on your dreams while working full time. That's what your goal is, to give them the confidence to do that. And then to take it even further, then they join your program so that they will take the action. Not just have the confidence, but now to join you, that gap is, okay, now we've quashed one of the monsters, but there's going to be more. That's why we cover a lot more of them in the program.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So that's your gap.
Plus,
right? So
you
that's
tell the gap.
Them, in day 1, we're getting them to find one of the monsters, one of the itty bitty shitty monsters. What's one of those sayings? But there's so many more, and there's techniques for all different ones depending on what they are, and that's what we cover in the program. And then we move on, right? But we We give them an actionable task that they've achieved one thing. Day 2 is now we want to make a mindset shift from the way we were brought
Challenging
up by our
blueprints.
parents, that we have to work to earn money, to you can work now to earn money, to eventually work for yourself, right? That is it's just a mind set shift. It's not going to be, so when we're planning each day, like we're looking at a tool set, a skill set, or a mindset shift, right? And this is definitely a mindset shift on day 2, that they can, and believe that, what mum and dad told you isn't true.
Yes, well.
Yeah, but also some people, that's what they want. But you wouldn't be here if that's what you wanted, right? That's what you say to them. If you wanted to work full time and just earn money, you wouldn't be here in this training. You're here because you know that there's something more. So then on day 3, so day 2 is all
3.
about, learning that you can you can work on your dreams while working. And then day 3, let me just share screen again. Let's talk it through.
Yes.
Tell me about
Day
this
3.
one.
So day 3 is where speak out your visionary vision. Well, it says that 50, but I don't have to have an age and beyond. Unleash your wisdom, inspire the future. Because so this was about creating a life plan and a life plan, and I guess I have added to blend the hero's journey with the life plan so that they are able to see the hero's journey process when they are doing the life plan. But I'm not sure, because I think it will take a lot.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
thinking
yes.
that sounds like way more than
Oh, you found.
a 1 minute session.
Oh, yes. Yes, since then I refine a few of those things, but the idea of because the step is called speak out, and it didn't seem to correlate having only a life plan with the name of that step. So then how would I correlate it? And I brainstorm with AI, and well, okay, by creating this life plan, how would you treat your life, not as a business plan, but as a, crafting what you would like to do? Then how would you communicate that? And then the only way that I could, and I agree with the research that AI brought me, okay, link the hero's journey into the life plan so that when they craft it, they can feel, yes,
So
they
I'm just going
answer
to
to a
stop you there.
call.
I think it's too much. And people
Yeah,
learning the hero's journey is not a simple thing. Some people just get
no,
it. Other people take a long time to understand what the
yeah,
hero's journey is. I
yeah,
don't think it's something, unless they are already versed in what the hero's journey is. If you
yeah,
were
fair enough.
talking to an audience who already understood the hero's journey, then it would
Who
be
knows
okay
what?
to use it. But I don't think that everyone you bring in is going to have that knowledge.
Yeah,
Um,
well, yes, we don't know yet. Yes,
but
but
I'm
you're
just
right.
looking at this, and tell me a little bit more about story. Because day 1 is to step up. Day 2, we're looking at the
Mm-hmm.
values.
Mm-hmm.
Story, create a manifesto to anchor a new vision of yourself. Tell me a little bit more about that one. I'm just going to go across here and have a look too.
So that was to through some questions, specific questions, they will create a manifesto. So what did you dream when you were a child? What was it that people
Yep.
acknowledge you for? So that was just little components through questions that they composed a manifesto. And the manifesto would say, I can tell you about Maria Semple. When she was a child, she dreamed to be a teacher, and something nobody knows, or something that she has struggled all of her life. So that it also, through questions and prompts, they form this manifesto. We call it a manifesto, but it is like a little story that it gives them that courage to understand. Yes, throughout my pain, I have this knowledge that I want to serve, because they tap into that childhood dreams,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. How about on day 3, we stick with just teaching the first 3 parts?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Because if I'm looking at this, hang on, where is it? When I'm looking at this, so step 1, we're going to, hang on, just scroll back. So step 1, we're going to help them to, kill one of the monsters in their brain that has been stopping them. And of course, the gap is we go into this deeper in the program, but we're going to make them self-aware that, their inner thoughts don't control their outer actions. Okay. Day 2 is about understanding that what our parents taught us, that working is the only way to make money, and to squash that belief, and then to realize that they can work full time while working on their dreams, because there is enough time in the day. And you could literally just share that graphic that I showed you in the chat if you wanted, so that they could be like, holy crap, I've got 37 hours in the week and I've been watching TV, right? And then you could get them to just do the values activity, so they understand what their values are, but just say, what are your top 5? However, practicing living in your values takes work, and there's the gap into your program. And then on day 3, the final day, now we have realized that our monster can't control us, our thoughts can't control us. We can work while working on our dreams. What is it that we're going to work on? Right? So why don't you think about, what did you want to do when you were a child? Or what's that thing that made you say, I want to do something more? There's something tinkering in the back of your brain. Like, you share your story about wanting to be a teacher and say, hey, that's why I'm here, right? I'm following my dreams. I'm being a teacher. What's yours? Do you love numbers? Are you currently working at a tax accounting office and you want to just, help people with the frameworks that you've created, or you want to teach other accountants rather than do the accounting, right? So either it comes from a childhood dream or something that you've discovered through your working life so now choose something, right? So on day 3, they're going to pick something, but then on that day, also let them know that it's written in sand, not in cement. It doesn't mean you can't change your mind, because there's other things to consider, and we do go into this inside the program to make sure you're choosing the right path that align with your values. But today I just want you to, really have a look at your inner story and pick something. Write it down. Take a photograph of it and stick it in the group and show us. Keep it that simple. So now what we've done is we've
Cool.
covered the surface level of these three things, but letting them know, and inside the program, I actually get you to write out a full manifesto on this to really solidify your dream so that it holds you going forward as we start to build this out together. But today, let's start with the first step. Let's actually just write down what it is that's in you that has been, niggling in the back of your brain. How
Oh,
does
you
that
say
sound,
it so
Maria?
nicely. Like unbelievable.
Well, this is all recorded, so you can totally go and just, add your own sparkle. Okay. And you keep coming back to this framework to say, we're going to touch on this today, and then we're going to do this today, and we're going to do this today, and your pitch will be around in this day here, and then you'll still cover a bit in here, but then you'll say, of course I couldn't cover everything in these 3 tiny little days with you because it's a 90-day
Mm-hmm.
process we go through. And if you've loved what we've done in 3 days, why don't you come and join us for 90?
Exactly.
All right. How does that sound? Now, what I want you to do is this here, don't get too
Mm-hmm.
worried about like how much content's in here, because most of what you're going to say, and I know you're somebody who's going to want a script, right, is in your
Yes,
PowerPoint
I
presentation. So every day you're going to have a
mm-hmm.
PowerPoint presentation. So then
Yes.
just start building out, if it makes it easier for you so that you're not like redoing everything, you could start mapping out now each of the days in a PowerPoint presentation. So
Mm.
that, you've got the teachings for each day ready to go. I still keep my notes in here in case like I move the PowerPoint presentation, just the dot points of what I'm going to cover, but the full script
Mm.
inside the actual presentation itself. All right. And remember, it's only like 30 to 40 minutes that you've got to teach. You don't have to go as
Mm.
deep as you think you might need to go. It's surprising how little. The more you teach, the more
Mm.
overwhelmed you're going to get people, and we don't want them to feel overwhelmed. We want them to feel like, oh, this is a nice little step. Oh, here's another little step.
Mm.
Now, here's a
Yeah,
little
you're
step.
right.
But
Yes.
now I've actually got to follow through, and I need Maria to follow through. Okay, so
Yes.
I think for you, so that you
That
don't get
sounds
all lost,
amazing.
some people love these paperworks, right? But I think for you, to stop you from getting lost, how about just start your PowerPoint presentation, making sure you're at least covering
Mm.
everything in that executive summary. So when you start the PowerPoint presentation, you're going to need a header, right? And you're going to need your little
Mm-hmm.
hooks. Then you're going to just do your
Yes.
PowerPoint presentation on what you're going to teach, okay? And then this
Mm-hmm.
is just, how can I create a gap? So if we're looking
Mm-hmm.
at day 1, when you're talking about, the monster that you're going to
The limit,
quash,
the
right?
monster that got you.
Yeah. So there's more that will come up. This is one that we're going to look at today, but there's different strategies for different limiting beliefs. And I do go into that more in the program and then move on.
Mm.
See, so what we're doing is we're giving them a taster, but we're constantly referencing that we can't do it in 30 minutes together, but let's try and do one.
Mm.
Okay. And then on day 2, the next one is parents' values. So they're, doing the value
Probably. Mm-hmm.
activity, and they're recognizing that they've got 36 hours in a day that they can provide. The only
In
way
a
they're going to
week.
be able to
In a
do
week.
that is to live within their values, right? They're hard workers. Well, that's a great value, right? So we're just going to give them to list 5 values, and then inside the program, we're actually going to show you how to tap into these at a deeper level so that you live within your values every day. Because it's very easy to slip out of them, and sometimes you don't know you're doing it. And that's why we show you more about this. But let's just start by recognizing what your values are. Did you see how I left a little gap there?
Unbelievable.
I kind of
Yeah.
referenced
Yeah.
why we need them. There's more work to be done, but let's start with step 1 today. And then on day
Unbelievable.
3, it's about choosing the thing, right? What is
The
one of the
story.
things that you would consider to be, part of your history, whether it's from your childhood or from your working life, that could be the thing that you now are working on while still working full time. And of course, then we refer them to this again that says how to build it out, how to actually speak it out, and then how to go and get opportunities to share that with a larger community. But of course, we can't cover that in 3 days, but at least you've chosen something. And if you want to take it further, then come and join me in our program.
Unbelievable.
All right. How's that, Maria? And this is all recorded, so you can go back and like transcribe it and do all the things, right?
Cool.
And so if you now just
Yes.
start putting together your teaching lessons in your PowerPoint using that framework, would that make it easier for you than stressing about trying to get the
I think it
whole
will.
book
I
done?
think it will make it easy because it's also a visual component.
Yeah.
While part of me and
You're
then
visual.
I am highly auditory
Yeah.
and highly visual and obviously kinesthetic, but I think, because it feels like it's jamming there and I can't see it. I
Yeah.
can't tangible see the 3 different days.
Yeah.
And then I guess that I chose day 5 of the program instead of day 3 because I thought, well, let's give one of the components that is about speaking out, that is a component that has an outer focus component. It is focusing in how you present yourself to the world rather than still the manifesto is still looking inwards. But you're right, it's about, okay, these are the 3
Yeah.
days, this is a taster, and you can come and join me in the 90 days if you want to know all the rest, and I will improve my pitch.
Yeah. So focus on that, having, the intro hook, whatever hook you have on day 2, right? Just say it at the end of
Yes.
day 1. So you don't have to worry about what the hook is because it's whatever you're saying at the beginning of day 2 goes on to the end of day 1. Okay. And the same for day 3. At the end of day 2, you say whatever you say at the beginning of day 3 because that's the hook to get there, right? We're going to show you how on day 3 you're finally going to choose something. Within the time you spend with me, you will have the idea of the dream you want to chase.
The
And so
confidence to believe that you can dream
yeah.
while
And
you
I
are
think
still working full time.
really leaning into that, you can work full time while working on
Yes,
your dream. I think that is a huge component of people to quit until they're financially stable enough to quit.
of course.
Yeah.
Yes,
So if you lean into that
definitely.
through all of your marketing, about especially once you get to over 40, it's that time of our life. Like I was talking to my niece who's 21 or 24. She's got no idea, right? She's got these dreams now. And I'm like, it's so different when you hit 40. It's like, you're starting to become 40 to 50, empty nesting, thinking, holy shit, half my life's gone and I don't really like what I'm doing. Right? So that's the audience we're speaking to, who've been stuck in corporate their whole life, but there's always been something that's like, oh, there has to be more. But they're not going to
Funny
quit.
enough, I attended a meetup, and then there was a woman that she came to the virtual meetup, and then she said, I work in Canberra for the federal government. I work in whatever health, for example, and I want to package my knowledge or something like that, but I don't know. I'm too scared to leave my job.
Perfect. That's a
And then
story.
a previous week there was another woman, and everybody told her, "Well, you should try to create your own business." She said, "My contract's been canceled. I pay a mortgage. I am cheating myself out." I mean, they are the extremes time now to take action there while you are suffering all that. But the first woman, she was, I thought, like, thank universe, you're sending them to me to hear the message because I get asked, where do they live, these women? Where are they? Who is your audience? And I say, well, yes, it's
And the
called
only way
Joanne. She works in
the way to get the stories from the people and to hear from their words is to work with them or to interview and speak with them before they know you. That's the message mining section where I get you to interview people beforehand. But I just want you to get the lead generation stuff done, right? The 3-day event.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
we get that
Yeah.
up and running, if you find it's too much and you just want to do a webinar every month or something, at the end of the day, my goal is for you to learn how to teach something live and then get them onto a sales call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I will have to teach only one thing.
Yeah.
Well, I like the chitty itty committee,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
concentrate on that. And then 2 weeks later, another one, because it gives me time. Because
No.
I'm
I don't
cheating
want you to do
myself.
that. I want you to choose these 3 things that we're doing. Okay. I want you to get
Right.
really good at
Fair enough.
doing and teaching these on repeat. And one of them might
Fair
just be the
enough.
winner. Right? Or we condense them and make them shorter. But the goal here is when you start running these sessions is getting the feedback, hearing their words, looking at what they
Yeah.
post in the Facebook group. All of this stuff improves your messaging. And the only way to get better at messaging is to work with people and is to talk to people. Like a lot of people, like, I
You're
want to just
right.
launch this thing and it's going to be amazing. It won't be, because we don't know how they talk yet. We know how we talk.
I know.
But it's once you start working with them and hearing how they talk, that is the optimization of your messaging through actual
Exactly.
real life discussions. Because, like,
Mm.
especially when I started teaching a lot of mindset stuff, a huge thing I realized is not many people, unless you're a coach, a lifestyle mindset coach, half of them don't even know what the word limiting belief even is. We use it as a normal thing because that's the industry we're in. We're not attracting those people. We're attracting corporate working women, right? They're probably maybe not looked at the word limiting belief before. They just want to help people.
Let's assume. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't
Let's.
assume. And eventually, like, one of
Mm.
my rules is we don't put it in the copy unless they've said it. I want to see, where have you heard one of my clients use those words? Yeah.
Mm.
But that's in message mining. You'll learn more about that later. But I want you to just focus on the content for now, and then we'll dig more into messaging, because that stuff, that just goes on forever. It never stops, ever. I've been at this for a long time, and I'm still refining messaging all the time. Okay.
You're right. You're right. You're
All right. So
brilliant.
does that
Brilliant.
help you
All right.
if we pull you out of the
Oh,
workbook and we stick you into a PowerPoint presentation to start to pull this together?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
that.
I'm
All
going to
right. Now you've got
start,
your
and
3
then
days.
Joyce and I are going to work on that. But
Excellent.
I'll refine a few things and then put it in the PowerPoint. Day 1, then day 2, and then day 3, and I think they
Correct.
will all come. I
Yeah.
have
So
content from here, content from there, and then I can
Yep.
also learn it. Like you said, record it, listen to it, and this is how I've been doing my videos for LinkedIn.
Yep.
I write a script, I record it, I listen to it, and I'm
Yep.
able to feel more confident.
Yeah.
Not that I am not a confident person, but I can feel overwhelmed sometimes with all these. I'm scared, and then my own itty shitty committee
Oh,
comes
honey,
out.
I know if you don't do something for a while, you lose that confidence muscle. The same, like, I used to go live every single day. Like, I go live every Tuesday, I'm fine. If I go live any day that's not a Tuesday, I get nervous because I just don't do it every day anymore. On a Tuesday, I'm fine because I'm like, yeah, this is the thing I do every Tuesday. But back in the day when I used to go live every single day, like, I was so confident back then to go live daily. Joyce is always, oh, make more videos. I'm like, oh, every time I pick up the phone, I get nervous again.
Yeah,
It's because I don't practice it as much. So it's anyway, I've got
maybe I will
Sarah's got
have
her
to
hand
do.
up. You feel served, Maria?
Yeah,
You good to move forward?
thank.
Yep.
Yes,
Excellent.
absolutely, guys. Thank you. I
Awesome.
will listen to this recording as well, and
Yep.
I'll keep
Christy
moving
will get it
forward.
up as
Thanks
soon
so
as it
much.
transcodes. Awesome. Sarah,
No
how can I
worry.
help you?
Thank you. I will
You're
leave you
welcome.
now.
Okay.
I'll say
Thank you,
goodbye then.
Maria.
I'll go to work.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Sarah, how
Bye.
can I help you?
I wanted to say how timely your topic was today on Strategy with Sally.
Oh, really?
Last Friday, I was contacted by one of my membership members,
Yep.
and she texted me and she said, this is just not working for me. I'm so busy, I don't have time. And
Yeah.
I said, well, let's get on a call and talk about it. So we set a time for Friday. She couldn't make it. We bumped it later in the day. On Friday, she couldn't make it. We set a time for Monday, today, and finally she made it. And we talked. And she said, I've just got a lot of doctor's appointments going on and, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Joanne, it only takes 5 minutes a day. And she said, well, I got to find time to watch the lessons. And I said, well, some of the lessons are the beginning ones are a little bit longer because I've just got, I've got to give you this foundation information. But after that, I'm trying to keep them to 3 to 5 minutes. And so you just need that amount of time. And then got to carve out 5 minutes of your day to train with your puppy. And, you really only have this opportunity once. Your puppy is only a puppy once, and you don't want her to grow up and learn bad habits that you could have prevented by starting the training now.
5 minutes
And
a
she said,
day.
yeah. And she said, okay, bottom line, okay, well, we'll give it a shot. And, thanks for helping me through this. And, when she texted me, she was looking for a refund, and I panicked, and I was trying to reach you and I couldn't reach you. So I was talking to Christy, and Christy gave me some very wise advice. And she said, just talk to her and tell her if she pushes the refund thing, that because my policy is they have a 14-day window and they can request a refund, but after that they can't. And I suppose if the dog died, I would give him a refund,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it
there's
had to be
always,
extenuating
right? There's always,
circumstances.
yeah.
But and then offer to restart her clock when she has the time to come back and do it. And I didn't even have to bring that up because I've kept her moving along. She's already in a group. So it was very timely. And I think that having just gone through my onboarding process, I think I'm pretty pleased with it. And I did a lot of
Yay.
hands-on stuff. I'm not doing sales calls, so I didn't have the opportunity to set the orientation call during the sales call. But I probably could put that in automation so
Yeah.
that after they pay, then they have to schedule that right away.
Yeah.
Or
And if
I
you're
don't know.
coming off the back end of a launch, you can
Yeah.
use the orientation call as like the welcome celebration as well.
Well, we
Especially
did a
because you're selling,
did a
you're not doing sales calls, you're going straight to sale.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So have a welcome celebration orientation call. And then anyone that misses it to help with retention, just automate out to them to book their orientation call. It'd be different when you're getting, hundreds of signups at a time. That's not possible.
Right.
You would have at least still the welcome that they can then go and watch in replay. But right now, your retention's always important, but even more so now. And you'll learn more by talking to them. So, automate that to book their own call if they can't make it to the orientation call.
Right.
Yeah, but good. Love it. That's good. Good timing.
Yes, it was. It was very good timing.
Awesome. All right. How did we go with... Oh, did you have any other questions at all, Sarah? But thank you for sharing. That was great.
I have a tech question for Christy.
Okay.
So I will go see is she around today?
She is. We'll be back in the VOZ. She's currently recording. And Christy just said she's really glad it went so well because
Yes, it
she
did.
helped you out. How are you going, Erica, in the background? Have you got your bits sorted for the ads?
No, I'm still working. I'm on it. Still,
Okay.
still here though.
Do you think that you'll get them done today? Because I know things are getting probably a little later. Or I'm in here all day. So as soon as you're ready, you just come see me once everything's
okay.
ready. And we can just move
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to the
I'm
VOZ
working.
now. And come and hang out in the VOZ. But as soon as you need me, just sing out. How does that sound?
Okay, so I'll switch to the last. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's go to the VOZ. You keep working. And then as soon as you're ready, I'm here. All right? Excellent. All right, guys.
Got it.
Well,
Thanks.
I'll jump out and we'll go back over to the VOZ and Christy can give Sarah some help as well. I've just got to duck in the house for one quick second. Hopefully Ebony's here. Back in a minute, and I'll meet you in the VODs. Bye, guys.